Coming up on the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week.
An international controversy has hit UNC's campus. We'll show you how the community is reacting.
Plus, there's a new tool that helps women detect the early signs of cancer.
In sports, it's ACC tournament time for the boys in blue. Do the Heels have what it takes to go all the way?
Weathercaster Laura Pagano joins us with your spring break forecast.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
More insight into the motives of an attacker. Hello and welcome to the March 8th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Shaheen Sayal.
And I'm Philip Jones. We now have a better idea of why Mohammad Taheriazar drove an SUV through the pit Friday morning. Documents Carolina Week obtained Tuesday shed more light on Taheriazar's attack. Taheriazar told police the attack was an eye for an eye because the United States government has been killing his people across the sea. Authorities also say Taheriazar had been thinking about some kind of attack for 2 years and planned the attack for about 2 months. The UNC graduate says he rented an SUV so he could, quote, run things over and keep going. There are also new details about some of the things officers found in his apartment, including the letter he alluded to in his 911 call Friday, an application for a gun permit, and 2 Navy SEAL Team Combat videotapes. Police say Taheriazar had 2 cans of pepper spray and a knife with him in the SUV in case he felt threatened. For more information on the situation, we'll go to reporter Chris Walker, who joins us in the newsroom with an update on the UNC community's reaction.
Phil, on a campus with as much diversity as UNC, it's not unusual that the reactions to Friday's pit incident are mixed. With the national spotlight still on Chapel Hill, students began to reclaim their spots in the pit Wednesday from a media circus. But in the process of getting back to normal, both the media and students struggled with the proper title for Mohammad Taheriazar and his actions.
Don't want religious violence.
A Monday morning rally sparked controversy about the word terrorism. Some see it out of context. Others demand that it be used. But what exactly constitutes terrorism? The CIA defines it as being premeditated, politically motivated violence against non-combatant targets by groups or agents. But the Department of Defense defines it differently, as the unlawful use of violence against individuals to intimidate government or society for ideological purposes. Even within the U.S. government, the definitions for the word vary, so how can UNC students expect to get it right? Some point to Taheriazar's own 911 call as evidence of terrorism.
Can you tell me why you did this, or
it's really to punish the government of the United States for their actions around the world.
Student body president Seth Dearman says he and university administration are not using the term.
Terrorism is a word that has been thrown out, and that's a word that's really inflammatory in a lot of ways, and it conjures these notions of large groups acting together and these kinds of intricate plots.
Dearman says plans are in the works for events to bring students together and promote greater tolerance after spring break. Carolina Week has learned from our contacts at ABC News that the FBI is considering federal charges against Taheriazar. For now, he is being charged with violating state laws only. My colleague Hannah Gordola is in the scene where the incident occurred. Hannah?
Thanks, Chris. Almost a week after the incident, students are still trying to understand how Mohammad Taheriazar was able to drive an SUV into the pit. When the shock wore off after Friday's hit and run, many students started asking themselves what the university could have done to prevent this from happening. Immediately, students pointed to these poles called ballards.
I just thought it was kind of ironic that they weren't up. I don't know, what's the purpose of having them if you're not going to use them?
Freshman Alejandro Rosado says it's not the first time he's seen an unauthorized vehicle on campus. A couple of weeks ago, an eerie foreshadowing.
There was a person actually driving through the quad, and they were clearly drunk because they were hitting things. They were hitting the bricks back and forth.
Senior Musin Omar has a similar story.
Been cars that just came in, and asked for directions before, so I have seen that happen.
A car, he says, drove from Bynum to Lenore, the same path that Taheriazar took. Phil, this is where the ballards used to be, and as you can see, they were removed just a few hours ago. This is exactly what students are concerned about. Having no obstruction here leaves the pit vulnerable. I spoke to grants director Kirk Talon. He says there are some talk about adding ballards behind Bynum Circle to prevent what happened Friday from happening again.
Hannah, it seems like there have been more police officers on campus. Is that in response to what happened?
Campus police can't disclose any operations information, but spokesperson Randy Young tells me police are being more visible on campus. It's more important now than ever.
Hannah Gordola on campus. Thanks, Hannah.
Tahiri Azar, is charged with 18 felony counts. He appeared at the district criminal court in Hillsborough for the first time on Monday. His trial will start on March 16th. It's not yet clear whether he'll be representing himself or if the court will appoint him an attorney. Tahiri Azar is being held in Central Prison. His bond is $5.5 million. UNC freshman Tyler Downey, who fell from Stacy Dorm on February 24th, is expected to make a full recovery. Downey is resting at home in Asheville and will return to UNC in the fall. Downey's family members say that they're overwhelmed by the kindness and support they've received from the university community. Although he must undergo oral surgery and physical therapy, they say a spring break visit from friends and watching the Tar Heels beat Duke on Saturday are keeping Downey's spirits up.
And this spring break, some UNC students are packing boots instead of bathing suits. Members of Extended Katrina Relief, or EKR, refuse to forget about the tragedy of Hurricane Katrina. 19 students will spend their spring break providing relief in Biloxi, Mississippi, a community destroyed by the hurricane. The group adopted Long Beach, a small community near Gulfport, and pledged to provide relief to the area for at least a year. They spent their Thanksgiving break in Long Beach and plan to make a third trip in May after exams. EKR co-chair Laura Williamson says people must realize reconstruction along the Gulf Coast is far from complete.
Students and, adults, community members alike need to understand that it's not over, just because it's not as readily available than news about the disaster and stuff, they still need so much help. There's still places that look like nothing has happened.
Extended Katrina Relief raised more than $10,000 for Long Beach in the fall, and Williamson says she hopes to raise even more this semester. And Shaheen, soon after spring break, newly elected student body president James Allred will take office.
Which means that Seth Dearman's term is coming to an end. Reporter Kelsey Richards takes a look back.
Only 4 weeks is left in student body president Seth Dearman's administration, but Dearman is too busy to slow down and think about it. Dearman believes he's accomplished a lot as SPP.
I think our administration will be remembered for what it was, and that it's an administration that was really comprised of students from across the entire population of the student body. We really did a great job of reaching out and bringing people in who aren't normally a part of student government. I would say that that's our big success.
Now Dearman is trying to wrap up the rest of his term by helping incoming SBP James Allred transition into the job.
I've put together a big notebook of things that he'll be reading up on and familiarizing himself with. And for the next 6 weeks, we'll be spending probably time at least every other day together.
Allred appreciates Dearman's help.
Seth has really stepped it up from what it's been in previous years, and it's definitely something I'm paying close attention to now and making sure everything's organized for the person who comes in after me, because I want to make sure that their transition is just as easy as mine's going to be.
Dearman thinks he'll have more time to evaluate his experience as SPP after his last day on the job. In Chapel Hill, I'm Kelsey Richards, Carolina Week.
The State of the University address takes place Wednesday evening. Dearman and other student leaders plan to talk about their achievements and shortcomings of this past year, as well as share some thoughts about the future.
Because of a recent tuition hike, many students are looking for ways to lower the cost of going to school. Administrators are currently planning to initiate a pay-by-credit plan that allows students to pay tuition based on the number of classes they're taking instead of paying a flat fee. Many state universities nationwide are already using this model, and some administrators are afraid students will be more likely to take fewer hours with this method rather than their usual diverse course load. UNC junior Blair Brooks supports the idea of paying by the credit hour.
I think it's a better way to do it, and I think that especially going into my senior year when I'll probably be underloading and everything, I think it'll save me a lot of money.
Administrators should decide whether to use the payment plan within the next 3 months.
The Department of Public Safety is still on the job at campus crosswalks, even if you don't see officers handing out citations to jaywalkers. The pedestrian safety program runs on a 6-week cycle. The first 2 weeks include education and verbal warnings, and during the final weeks, officers issue citations to violators. DPS spokesman Randy Young says officers wrote 19 citations during the final weeks of the cycle, but he says that that's not the most important aspect of the program.
Generally, what we have seen is a much higher level of awareness. And honestly, that's been the focus of this campaign. I mean, it's not been just about issuing citations, it's about safety, and part of that comes of awareness.
Young says the 2-week period of intense focus is over for now, but officers have the option of issuing citations at any time. The Department of Public Safety isn't sure when Pittsboro Street will open up again. For now, construction is really backing up traffic. This is the type of vehicle you'll find on the upper portion of Pittsboro Street, which closed last month for emergency utility repairs. Cars aren't the only vehicles affected by the closure. Buses from Chapel Hill Transit and Triangle Transit Authority have been rerouted, causing the whole bus system to run more slowly. Because of the detours, Newman Center and Sitterson Hall bus stops are now temporarily closed. Alternatives for the missed stops are in front of the Credit Union on Pittsboro Street and Carrington Hall.
Shaheen, early cancer detection could save lives.
That's right, and now there's a new technology that might just do that. Coming up, find out how North Carolina is involved with this medical breakthrough.
Mom tells me to eat broccoli, carrots, apples, blueberries, strawberries, green beans.
I like to eat oranges. They have vitamin C.
I like chicken and turkey.
It gives you protein.
I like to drink
lemonade, milk.
Because milk makes you be strong.
A lot of fruits and vegetables make you healthy.
Make good choices
so you'll be healthy.
and it's good for you.
Healthy living starts early with a wholesome diet and exercise.
Public health experts say women who are sexually active or older than 21 should schedule a yearly pap smear. Early detection can spot changes in the cervix before they lead to health problems. Medical reporter Kate Schoen is in the studio with more. Kate?
Thanks, Shaheen. Last year, 130 North Carolina women died of cervical cancer. Last month, the State Health Lab introduced cutting-edge technology to better screen for cancer. Lab technologist Mary Lane Rouse uses the latest computer imaging to screen for abnormal cells from a patient's pap smear.
Because it's early detection is key, and that's what this does, is that it detects precancerous cells at different stages.
Until recently, only private clinics in North Carolina offered this new technology. Now, most clinics send their tests to the state lab in downtown Raleigh, the first public health facility in the country to switch to the new system. First, a lab technician places material from a liquid-based pap test in a thin layer on a slide. Then, Supervisor Aubrey Wiggins loads the slides into the imaging system. The image turns blue when the scanning is complete.
Any patient that has their pap done with a liquid-based pap and with imaging has a higher chance of having any abnormalities detected on that particular visit.
After the imager detects abnormalities, lab techs like Lane Rouse analyze those areas by hand. They look for cells, like this one here, with excess genetic material in the nucleus. That can signal cancer.
It could save your life, so this is very important. I think a good motto is that when we do screen slides, we're saving one life at a time.
The North Carolina Health Department serves many women in high-risk populations. The state lab says these women aren't as likely to schedule pap smears every year. That makes it even more important to catch the early signs of cancer on every test. Shaheen?
Kate Schoen live in the studio. Thanks, Kate.
At UNC, the Center for AIDS Research is giving you 4 words to live by. There they are. Don't forget your rubbers. Several groups are teaming up to give students the chance to have a free, quick, and confidential HIV test. This serves as a follow-up to the HIV testing done on World AIDS Day, during which 250 people on campus were examined by medical personnel. The test doesn't use needles, but an oral quick swab taken from the inside of your gums. It only takes 20 minutes to get the results.
If you're looking for a place to hang out on Franklin Street and you're younger than 21, a lot younger, the new Children's Museum might be for you. After some frustrating tugging, the Kids Zoo Children's Museum opened its doors on Tuesday. The museum gives parents and children a chance to explore the world using their senses and imaginations. Children slid into a giant bowl of make-believe chicken soup, had fun with mirrors, and even karaoke'd. When asking what they liked about Kids Zoo, the museum's toughest critics enthusiastically responded.
Everything. My favorite part is the fishing and the slide.
Local businesses such as Ben & Jerry's sponsored the opening. The museum's open every day from 10 to 4.
It's almost spring again, and that means it's time to turn over a new leaf. Just take a look at this carrot. It's one of many endangered species preserved by the Seeds for Success program at the North Carolina Botanical Garden. Part of a 20-country effort, the Millennium Seed Bank project aims to protect and house 10% of the world's flora by 2010. Some rare species are available for viewing, but garden officials suggest waiting 2 or 3 weeks for warmer weather and fuller blooms. And as warm as it was on Wednesday, I don't think we're going to have to wait very long for that warmer weather.
You're right. Weathercaster Laura Pagano joins us now. Laura, is this seasonable for this time of year?
No, it is not. And can you believe it is still winter? Spring is slowly creeping in, and spring break is just around the corner. Check out this bee. It just can't wait to get out of its hive to get a taste of spring.
Oh, hey, mister. Studied algebra in school and got a better job than I could. You took the last couple.
Oh, no, mister. Stuck in an entry-level job because you only learned basic math. I don't have a boss riding my butt like you do, so you take it so you can get back to your desk.
You know, I probably should, but maybe Miss AP Calculus with the $200 haircut in the big office upstairs would like a cup.
Oh, no, Mr. What was your name again? Never mind, it doesn't matter. I'm too busy doing important things to care. I just came down for some sweet and start.
You know, if my limited math abilities weren't keeping me from getting a better job, I'd quit this afternoon.
I don't blame you. But thank goodness you're stuck here because we really need someone to make the coffee.
Hi, and welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm weather forecaster Laura Pagano. Well, spring break is just around the corner, and I have your travel plans. Maybe you're going out to the beach or to the mountains. Well, I have the forecast for anywhere you're going, any destination. But as for right now, we have sunny conditions, and showers are going to be on the increase for Friday, maybe into Saturday. And for your spring break, well, the heat is on as the temperatures are on the increase for much of this region. As we take a look at the U.S. satellite, well, we can see we do have an area of convection and precipitation around the middle section of the country that will just be moving on east. But as we can see, New England all the way down to the Florida Peninsula is very clear. So if you want to go out to maybe the beaches the next few days, I think you'll be okay. As we zoom into our area, we will see that, again, Florida Peninsula looking great all the way up to the Carolinas. We do have some high clouds in this region. But as we look towards our northwest, well, it's right, like we see right here, we have a lot of precipitation in this area. It's just going to be sliding on through to the east. New England is going to get a lot of showers. And for us, well, the mountains may buffer some precipitation, but we should get some for our Friday. As we take a look at the surface map, we will see that, well, this area of low pressure is just going to be zooming on toward the east. We do have very foggy conditions dominating in the north, but we do have a high pressure system to the south, so it is keeping it dry for right now. But as we take a look at the west, we will see clear conditions. They had a lot of heavy precipitation in this area last week, so they're just grateful to get a break for right now. So we're going to have this cold front just moving on through, although it is not going to be getting any colder. It's because we have dry air dominating for right now. Let's take a look at the 4-day forecast, and we see that your Thursday and Friday just, well, it's going to get cloudy and precipitation is going to be coming into this area. But temperatures are just going to be looking great, 73 to 77. And taking a look at Saturday and Sunday, can't complain here. You have temperatures hovering around the 80-degree mark, maybe even getting warmer as you head into more Raleigh-Durham area. So sunny conditions, and say maybe you want to head towards the mountain for some skiing. Well, I don't know if I would do it this weekend because we have isolated storms both Saturday and Sunday, but temperatures again are looking great. So if you're looking maybe to go see some scenery, it's going to be kind of, you know, it's going to have a lot of precipitation in this area, so may not want to do that. And for your beach, well, I can't complain here either. As we see, we have mostly sunny conditions for both Saturday and Sunday with temperatures about 75 to 77. So if you want to, I would definitely get out, you know, for the weekend heading onto your spring break. It looks great.
I am super excited. It looks like it's going to be great, especially this weekend.
I know.
And I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that the warm weather continues for the rest of the week. Thanks, Laura.
I know. Thanks very much, Laura. This warmer weather couldn't come at a better time. But sportscaster Michael Crow is here with us now. And Mike, it's ACC tournament time, and the men's basketball team is on a roll.
Yeah, they'll be playing again on Friday night, and it'll be fun to see them back in action. But coming up in sports, Carolina athletes have been in the spotlight lately, but not just for their efforts on the court. A new program puts kids and players together, and the kids rank their quality Tar Heel time a 10.
Glucose plus oxygen equals carbon dioxide plus water.
Hey, Gio, what's up?
And energy. Superior vena cava, pulmonary artery, coronary artery.
I'd like to pass them back to you now.
Fort Chem tissue types and endoplasmic reticulum with ribosomes. Is it 3 o'clock already? And without. Copy of the skeletal anatomy syllabus. Fort Chem site Wednesday. Chem 2. Velocity access skeletal anatomy Thursday. The lobes of the cortex.
She's got the drive,
cranial volume,
the energy,
frontal, parietal,
the heart,
and occipital,
and the talent.
motor output.
Pre-med.
But she wouldn't be here without your help. Please support the United Negro College Fund, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Syllabus for Chem 2.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Michael Crow. Spring break may be around the corner for students, but there's no break in sight for the Tar Heels. The men's basketball team heads into the ACC tournament this weekend as perhaps the hottest team in college basketball. The Tar Heels have won 10 of their past 11, and I'm a believer that they can do more than that. ACC first-teamer and Rookie of the Year Tyler Hansbrough leads the team in scoring. Senior David Noel is doing pretty much everything for the Tar Heels, and let's not forget about Rayshon Terry, who's also scoring in bunches. He's really come on strong these past few weeks. Carolina's talented freshmen are playing anything but like rookie-like. And if the Heels' hot streak continues, they could find themselves on top of the ACC and in great shape heading into the NCAA tournament. After losing to the Baylor Bears last year in the NCAA women's tournament, the Heels are saying, let's go all the way this time. And with a 29-1 record, I'm a believer. The Tar Heels finished the season #1 in the national and conference rankings. After winning the ACC tournament and having February National Player of the Month, Ivory Latta, the Heels look unstoppable. The only blemish on their record was an overtime loss to Maryland. Duke and Maryland, promising #1 seeds, will challenge the Heels for a spot at the top. The men's lacrosse team faced a tough test Tuesday night when 20th ranked Penn visited Fetzer Field. Carolina struck first with this goal by Bobby McAuley, but Penn responded, reeling off 3 goals in less than 3 minutes. No, this is not a replay. When Ryan Blair scored the Heels' second goal, it would be their last goal for a long time. Carolina failed to capitalize on many opportunities. The Tar Heels trailed 7-2 at the half, and head coach John Haas did not look pleased. The second half didn't go much better for Carolina. 3 players scored 3 or more goals for the Quakers, and the 13-4 blowout left Tar Heel fans with little to cheer about. Saturday's gymnastics meet had a few new and younger faces in the crowd. Reporter Jessica Pruitt tells us how Carolina athletes are making a difference.
UNC athletes are helping to make dreams come true for the kids at the UNC Children's Hospital. The service program Carolina Dreams is in its second year thanks to the efforts and vision of senior lacrosse midfielder Dave Weary. The program, aimed to partner student athletes with children being treated at the hospital, was created in hopes of helping these special kids experience what life as a Tar Heel is really all about.
This meet is only one of 4 sporting events the children at the UNC hospitals will attend with varsity athletes. By the end of the year, they will have experienced some of the best Carolina has to offer in sports.
The much-deserved time these kids spent at a gymnastics meet was once only dreamed about by Weary, but he says it's a day many of them will never forget.
The kids are the best part, because sometimes you'll have a kid who comes and is so shy at the beginning and won't want to talk to anybody, and really just kind of taking it all in, and you'll see by the end of the event they'll be out out on the court at the basketball game waving to everybody or talking to all the girls on the softball team or whatever the case is. And I think the transformation of them from when they first come and are kind of taking in what's going on to when they leave is amazing.
The athletes are more than happy to spend a day with the children, and many, like varsity soccer player Chris Litchford, find the kids' enthusiasm for life to be contagious and refreshing.
Kids that come out, they're so excited, and it's just really cool to see that. They love interacting with us, and we like interacting with them. They get to come out and see the events and the sports, so that's the best thing, is that they're so happy to be here.
In the eyes of these kids, the athletes are not only stars on the field, but in their hearts as well. With Carolina Dreams in Chapel Hill, I'm Jessica Pruitt, Carolina Week.
For more information about how you can contribute to Carolina Dreams, check out TarHeelBlue.com, keyword Carolina Dreams. And you can also see that ACC Coach of the Year went to Roy Williams, our own coach right here.
Very nice.
And I believe Tyler Hansbrough is the first unanimous pick ever for ACC Freshman of the Year.
That's right, first unanimous pick. That's really something special.
All right, thanks very much, Mike.
Thanks, Michael. Dog lovers, if you need some help taming those wacky tails, you're in luck.
Find out why these pooches are sitting so still, coming up.
North Carolina is where the wonders never cease. It's where visitors and residents alike can be touched by these things and always remember the embrace of clouds around a mountain peak, sparkling water forever in a hurry, a bridge less traveled, an enchanted wetland forest, and the place where the sun meets the sea.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Shaheen, you're thinking about getting a new puppy sometime soon, aren't you?
Well, I've thought about it, Phil. So when I do, reporter Lindsay Michael knows a place where I can send him to get some top-notch training.
Parker, come. It's Parker's first day of training, and he's already figured out if he sits still long enough, someone will give him a treat. Dog trainer Jenny Hill starts training dogs like Parker with positive reinforcement.
The first day, we start out with motivational training. That way it makes obedience fun for the dog.
If Parker does what he is told the first time, he gets a treat. If he doesn't, he gets a little tug on the special collar called a prong collar.
What it's meant to do is when you give a slight tug and release on the collar, it comes in and the prongs kind of pinch him on the neck like a mother correcting her young.
Parker seems to enjoy the extra attention he gets when he does something right, and he's catching on quickly. Alexi, come. This dog has been in training for only 1 month, and you can see he's learned a lot.
If you decide to do dog training, you can teach your dog to come, sit, stay, and down. And always reward him with a treat that he enjoys.
So how do the dogs feel about all this attention? Maybe I'll ask again after we teach them to speak. In Chapel Hill, I'm Lindsay Michael, Carolina Week.
Oh, what well-trained dogs.
Oh, they are gorgeous, too. That's going to do it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Have a great night.
Have a good night.